What is up, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are making your dreams come true, all that kind of stuff, pushing forward, moving forward, and all that. All right, so we're going to jump into it here. If you have not heard, Captain America. Speaking of Captain America, somebody just sent me a. I just was talking to someone about Captain America, with the problems with the movie where with Anthony Mackie as the lead role as Captain America. So let me just continue on with that. So Anthony Mackie played Captain America, taking over for Chris Evans as Steve Rogers in the Captain America franchise. I actually kind of enjoyed the movie. I'd probably give it like a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. My biggest issues are that he didn't take the serum. I think it would have been a lot better if he had taken the serum. Full nerding out, geeking out here. That was my biggest issue. But I know when I watch other people, which I didn't even really I didn't watch anyone else because I know that their issues are number one, race, race swapping or whatever. Number two is that he didn't take the serum and he's fighting the Red Hulk. I got an issue with that too. And number three is that why is Steve Rogers, why is Captain America got to be an agent of the U.S. government, especially given Steve Rogers' stance on it and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, so that's enough nerding out and all that kind of stuff. I can do something separate about that. We're going to talk about masculinity. If you have not seen this video by Anthony Mackie giving an interview, check it out.
No, ma'am, they will always say thank you. They will always say yes, sir. In the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities, for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night. This alarm is on. You text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, motherfucker climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, motherfucker jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different. You feel it when you go to Europe. Like you see these and you're like, could bust your ass, boy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You go to Europe.
Tight ass pants.
Yeah, tight ass pants. Motherfucker, good, boy, you better lotion your ankle. Like, you feel it when you go to Europe. Even when I was just in Kenya and I was walking around, I'm like, yeah. Dude was like, you ain't from here. Like, nah. Yeah, I could tell. I know you can. I could tell I ain't from here. You know what I mean? It's just that American male masculinity is something I think is very important for boys. Because now our little boys are afraid to fail, so they don't try. In the past 20 years,
Okay, so we checked out that particular video about Anthony Mackie giving his thoughts about masculinity in America. So here's an actor, and I've mentioned this before, and I've seen other actors who are not that masculine presenting, but here's a brother who's saying, we're gonna be masculine in this house. I don't know how many children he has, but at least when he goes away and he's on extended, work stuff, he's dealing, or he's assigning leadership qualities, he's responsibilities and instilling leadership qualities in his male children. And I applaud him for that, and he should continue to do that. So I appreciate that all the time. So that's that. And I just wanted to praise the brother for doing that. I think that he's right that their masculinity has been under attack. This is no surprise for anyone who's followed me for a little bit, that I think that masculinity has been under attack, in particular black masculinity. Now, all masculinity has been under attack, but black masculinity has always been under attack from the very inception of this country to even before that, with Bacon's Rebellion and other features, laws, policies, practices, targeting of black people. Before we used to be able to vote, they took away the vote from us. We were able to own guns. They took the ability for us to own guns and defend ourselves, and all this different type of stuff was all taken away. A lot of these laws that we have about why you got to license your dog, why you got to register your firearm or get a license and all that is all because they want to control African American or black people. That's what it's all stems from. So listen, it's been under attack. We've and listen, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't have a problem with anyone who doesn't present as masculine or wants to be feminine, or, you know, there's a video that I saw, I don't know if it will be able to find it, a Pharrell walking around with a purse or whatever. I don't know what these dudes are doing. You can do you, but here in my space and what I'm advocating for and what I enjoy is being a masculine man, making decisions, being decisive, being a protector, provider, standing on your square, saying what you mean, meaning what you say, and presenting yourself in that frame of thinking and frame of being. Your command presence means something. And I appreciate Anthony Mackey, number one, stating that this is an issue that he has seen, that he has that he's noticed. 20 years, you know, I would say since the 1970s, really like 50 years of policies in the education system, policies in universities, and there's academic papers addressing in particular that I know of. That I read. I don't know what's going on with the K through 12 education, public education, but I do. I've heard the stories. Let me say it like that. Not that I don't know, but I've heard the stories. I haven't read any academic papers about that, but I have read academic papers about what feminism and feminine thinking has done, is doing to academia and scholarship. And so listen, I applaud anyone and everyone who is allowing men, to stand on their square and understand that there is a difference in the way that we live and the way that we move in the world as men. And this is important. This is important for us to really understand. This is important for us to really understand. I was going to make a separate video about this, but you know, let me include it in this. As men, it's okay to have a mindset of checking on your friends and making sure that they are good. I think that we don't do that enough. I don't, you know, and I'll tell a couple of stories on why I want to talk about this. I did a video about reclaiming masculinity. It was a live video that I did. One of the guys I follow on YouTube, BGS Ibmore, did a video as well. I enjoyed his video. Shout out to him. And just looking at what this issue is about masculinity and male loneliness and things along those lines. And this male loneliness, male masculinity type of thing, we can be masculine and caring at the same time. And here's what I mean. When I had a triple bypass, my family was around me and all that, but I didn't reach out to my friends, to my boys. I think I called one dude. And I got other boys. And the other ones were kind of upset, like, yo, man, you didn't tell me about this? What's up with that? And we don't think that we want to bother people. We don't want to bother people. We don't want to burden people. We don't want to, have you stop what you're doing and come over and see about me, visit me, and this, that, and the other. And that's the way that I thought. It's the way that I thought. And, you know, I kind of regret that now, because you take that ability for somebody else. You take that ability away from somebody else who cared to care for you, to appreciate you, and yes, to love you as a man to man in a completely heterosexual platonic way. You know, I gotta say that, you know. But this is sometimes the fight that we are dealing with, right? This is the dilemma that masculine men are dealing with a lot of time. So fast forward, that my situation, that was my own personal situation. A friend of mine, a few weeks ago, now that I record this, was sick with the flu or COVID or something like that. I call my man up because he's, you know, kind of in the same familiar field. Call him up to ask him some business question. This dude's talking about, man, yo, man, I'm sick as a dog, man. I'm whatever. I'm like, dude, you know, all right, man, okay, that's cool. You know, yeah, it's a flu or whatever. You know, just takes a few days off of work or, you know, get some rest. You'll be good. I'm like, all right, man. I hit him up, you know, on the phone. I'm like, all right, man. Well, call me back when you get better, man. I got some stuff to ask you about. You need anything? You good? And he's like, yeah, well, man, if you could bring me some soup, man, I'd appreciate that, man. Man, this is what it is, man. You know, I brought the brother some soup. You know, I dropped it off and kept it pushing because I'm like, yo, man, I ain't getting sick, man. But hit me up when you feel better, man. You know. But that's what boys do for each other, man. That's what masculine men do for each other. So that's what we got to do. We got to get away from this kind of thinking that you don't have to check on your friends and your boys, or if you're going through something that you don't feel as if you can reach out to somebody because you feel as if you're bothering them or that you don't want to inconvenience them. But this is what it is. This is what it is. So, you know, I just want us to understand that this is the way we gotta kind of change or rearrange our thinking about all this. All right, I had to make some room in my phone here. So that's my situation. That's my boy's situation who was suffering with the flu, and then just the other day, I'm at this place getting at the spot that I go to get something to eat. Talking to the owner of the spot, she tells me, you know, she tells me that she's friends with a dude, right? You just normal conversation. The dude's my man's, right? We go all the way back to kindergarten, literally all the way go back to kindergarten or second grade. I don't know. It's hard to remember, but all the way back to grammar school. Let's put it like that. Definitely second grade. We might have been in kindergarten. I think they put us in different first grades and then back in second grade. That's what I think happened. But anyway, we all go all the way back there. This mother sucker breaks his leg and then you know, didn't tell me about it, man. So I call, so she's telling me about, you know, my man, you broke his leg, you know, and shows me a picture of it. I'm like, what the heck is up with this? So I call my man up. Yo, man, what's up, man? You good? You need anything? It's like, yeah, I'm in rehab. I've been here for a month. I thought it had just happened the other day. This dude's been in the hospital for a month. All right, so listen. I'm saying all that to say, as men, and my point is that the brother never reached out to me and other people. We had this conversation. We exactly had this conversation about us reaching out to each other. He was apologetic. I was apologetic because I didn't call him when I went through my stuff, right? So listen, as men, we got to be there for each other. We got to help each other. You know, it's a lot of dudes aren't getting married, you know, and we got to check on each other, man. The power of collective community isn't just something that women ought to embrace and just say, okay, we're going to do whatever. And a lot of times we listen, we get it, man. We good by ourselves. We sit at home. Sometimes I just sit at home playing video games, whatever. I'm not thinking about that way. I don't hang out at clubs or bars, whatever. I'm good like that. I'm good like that. But at least call people up on their birthdays, at least call people up, you know, just, you know, text every now and then, you know, once a month text, just to see how people are doing, how they making out, make sure they're still breathing, you know, all that kind of stuff, man. And you know, so listen, reclaiming masculinity doesn't mean that we have to be so stoic and so aloof that we neglect to have a viable relationship with our boys, with our friends, and all that kind of stuff. So let me finish this off by saying, yes, I applaud Anthony Mackey for talking about masculinity, understanding the crisis of masculinity that is going on, you know, the way that people are dressing and all this kind of stuff. And again, you dress how you want to dress. However, for those of us who want to be masculine, those of us who want to present a certain image, listen, man, you got to be a man. You got to be a man. You got to be a man. And of course, we talk about getting in the gym, eating right, your command presence, the way that you dress, the way that you talk, the way that you move, going to jiu-jitsu classes, going to firearms classes, all that kind of stuff is wonderful, and that matters. But another thing we got to incorporate that is checking on each other and being there for each other. And yes, having a love for each other. Having a love for each other. So I just want to finish that off. I just want to drop that because I thought that what Anthony Mackey said was good. I thought that what the way he's raising his children was good. I hope and I know that I raised my children, particularly my son, to be the same way, to think and be a protector, provider, to be masculine, and to be dominant, not necessarily domineering. Right? We're not trying to get into fights. We're not trying to argue with people. We're not trying to one up people all the time. You know, part of being a good masculine protector and provider is knowing when to move, where to be, and how to navigate this world. And sometimes you got to know how to, hold your own, not only, but also know when, you got a losing hand and throw that hand in, because it ain't gonna win, right? So there's all these different types of stuff, right? And speaking of that, I'm actually going to do something about. I plan to do a couple of. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know. But trying to answer this question, because a lot of dudes are really confused about why women go after the bad boy types. And it's really about everything that I just laid out in this video, about being masculine, speaking your mind, standing on your square, and not being afraid to suffer any type of consequences, and being ready to tackle the world. That's what it all is. And I was researching some stuff for this other class that I teach about forensic psychology, and I just happened to, I'm researching some stuff, and I just happened to see a couple of articles underneath what I was looking at about mate selection and aggression and all this kind of stuff. So I started reading through that. I'm like, it's like 3 to 4 different articles. So my point is, this stuff has been well known and documented in the evolutionary psychology about why women select, these type of men. I was on Dr. Thunder's, shout out to him. I was on Dr. Thunder's panel. He does a Friday panel. He was talking, we were talking about this whole, mate selection, men being dominant and all this kind of stuff, right? So we have to, as men, be assertive and stand on our square, know who we are, know what we are, be competent, confident in who we are and where we're trying to go and what we're trying to be in life. And ladies are not selecting for weak dudes. Dr. Thunder was talking about when he works on campus, and I've seen this too, and this is no shit. This is really, it's going to seem like shade. I understand it. But a lot of these dudes who work on college campuses, I got a phone call there. So these dudes who work at college campuses and stuff, a lot of times they're hiding behind their degrees because they don't really have a lot of life experience, and because they're not the most masculine presenting of persons or people, which is fine. You be the best version of yourself. Nobody's saying you got to be a roughneck thug and all this kind of stuff. But I am speaking to a lot of guys out there who are trying to find themselves and want to be a strong presence and present this masculinity that they think that is lacking. So let me just end this off. Anthony Mackey's given some good advice. We are definitely under attack in masculinity, and masculine American malehood is definitely on the decline. And we got to make better decisions. We got to be a decision maker. You got to be a protector. You got to be a provider. You got to speak your mind. You got to have an abundance mindset that says, if you don't want to do it, okay, you don't have to be in my life or on my program. So I just want to drop this to you guys, and I wish you guys the best. And keep moving forward, keep it going, keep it strong, and let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions about this. And make sure you check on your friends. Make sure that your masculinity doesn't mean being a jerk. It doesn't mean being avoidant or any of that stuff. But it just means that you have the ability to speak up for yourself and speak your mind. So, all right, y'all take care. Much love and peace. Hit me in the comments.